Good morning, everyone. Last night, Osu Scores of the Day posted their score of the day, which is Toro Mivana hitting a 441 BPM death stream. And this kind of pissed me off a little bit because everyone in the comments totally believes he did this legit, right? When I can tell you this is clearly rake tapped with a very certain technique specifically. Before I get into that technique, I'm going to show how you can tell when people are raking with this technique, or raking in general. First off, if he were to have his key presses enabled, you would see he would not have the same number of key taps for each key in a stream. Like, if you were to hit a 16 note burst normally, you would have 8 key 1 taps and 8 key 2 taps. But with this technique, you will definitely not have an even number. One of them is going to be a lot more than the other. Second off, if this dude were to turn a light on, that'd be really nice. Yeah, right here. When he goes from normal tapping to a stream, you can see he changes the positioning of his hand, which is very important. You can tell he's switching to this raking technique. And third, and most importantly, you can see a very uneven UR bar right here. You can see there's 4 key taps here which are completely out of the way from the rest of the taps. And this is because just about here, one of his keys double taps, which is super vital to the technique. And right there. And then the rest of the taps are just him tapping along to the stream. So if you see like a pattern similar to this in the UR bar, then they're definitely using this technique. And with that, I will show how it works. Okay, so let me show you how this technique works. It goes by a bunch of different names. A bunch of people discovered this individually, so I don't really know what to call it. But usually, when you play Osu, you tap on the key like this, right? You're like just in the middle of the key, nothing special. But with this technique, what you want to do is you want to jam your finger below the key. In this case, since I'm using a wooden, like in between the row, but if you were using a keypad, you would just do it below the key. And what this does is when you put your finger like below the key, it will create an upstroke. As you can see, I'm pressing the key down, and then, that's definitely enough upwards movement to count as an upstroke, right? So, when you're like tapping with this technique, you put the key down here, and this is key press 1, and you lift it, you get a second key press. So, ideally, you'd be tapping twice as fast. Realistically, you don't really get that, but essentially, that's how it works. Now, I will show you what this looks like when you're actually playing. Ah! Okay, I hope that demonstrates what I'm gonna talk about.